Hey guys, welcome to Monday Move, where we enhance your asana. Sticking with the hip opening theme, we are going to work with lizard pose or Utthan Pristhasana. I believe I said that correctly. So this is a great pose to really get the groin stretched out. It's really just a good circumference around the hips between the front leg stretch and the back leg stretch. Some things you need to be mindful about is keeping that core engaged, so you're really actually opening up the front of the body that's supposed to be opening up and not just letting the pelvis come into that anterior tilt that can happen when the front body is so tight. So we'll talk about that and knowing your limits. There's many different variations of this pose, and we'll go through the first variation with the option of being on your hands or working your way down onto your forearms. So this can be great to help with sciatica, low back pain, leg aches and pains, even all the way up into the head and neck. So it's a great pose, and let's get to it right away. Let's come onto our mats. The easiest way, or one way I should say, to get into it is from down dog. So if you want to start in a nice down dog, what you'll do is I'll start with my left leg. I'm going to take my left leg forward and step to the outside of my left hand. So my left foot is pretty much at the edge or on the outside of my mat. So it's kind of like a runner's lunge, but your leg is, or your foot is planted outside of your shoulder. And just like runner's lunge, I'm keeping, for this variation, I'm keeping my back leg straight, so I'm squeezing my knee. Again, my core is engaged, so I'm scooping up that belly to get the nice stretch through the front of my right thigh. Now this is the first option with our hands just planted on the floor. And remember, with any weight bearing on the hands, you really want to make sure that the folds of the elbows are rolled forward. So wrap your triceps, your outer arms, back into the body to help stabilize the shoulder girdle. Another variation, if you can go a little bit deeper, find a block and start to bring your forearms onto your block. Again, this is really going to start to open up the left hip now, really getting into the inner thigh, the glute muscles, and really work to, in this variation, really work to hug your left thigh into your midline. And then if you do have more range of motion, you can come all the way down onto the forearms. I'm not very stretched out, so my back is rounding, so I'm going to stay upright so I can keep my chest lifted and strong, so I get that openness of the front body this pose is meant to give. So I'm going to step my left foot back, and I'm going to come in on the right side. And my right side's usually a little bit more range of motion, so I'll see how it feels when I come down onto my forearms. And this time it'll be, instead of keeping my back leg straight, I'm going to just release my knee to the ground. This is a little bit less of an active style. It has a little bit more of a restorative action to it. So now I'm going to slowly see how it feels to bring my forearms onto the block. I'm going to keep my chest open and lifted, my belly scooped up, and I am pressing gently into my back knee just to keep my leg active. My right knee is hugging into the midline. Now I'm going to see how it feels to come onto my forearms, trying to keep my chest lifted and open. This side's a little bit more open, but it feels better on the block, so I'm going to come back up onto the block. Take a few breaths in this pose. And then to come out, to come back onto your hands. I'm going to lift my back knee and then step back into down dog. Kind of wiggle my hips, let blood flow return back into my hips. And then release to my knees. So that is a variation of lizard pose. It's a great way to really open up the circumference of your hips between the back leg and the front leg. There's a stretch happening in both legs. Especially if you're having low back pain, like I said, some sciatic issues. It'll even help to release all the way up into the neck and shoulders if you're having headaches. So play around with this pose. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to use the comment section below, and I will definitely get back to you as soon as I can. Have fun, and next week we'll continue with hip opening, and we'll do a little bit deeper version of pigeon pose, or I'm sorry, of lizard pose. All right, namaste. Have a great week, you guys.